All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Paidia Cup Women's Matchmaking season. Of course, we are here, the Gump and Tala. Tala, listen, I'm hyped for this because it has been a while since I've been on the desk.
Well, I mean, welcome back. We've missed you a lot. And, you know, today's matchup is going to be pretty exciting. It is going to be Powerpuff Girls, who are basically Paidia Cup stream favorites at this point. They've been on almost every single week except for a single one versus UARC Rose, which is actually going to be a rematch matchup.
Yep, and you were actually there for that, correct? So you got to see some of the action. Is there anything in particular that really shone out to you?
Well, the first map was Icebox last week, and on this map, even though it was Powerpuff Girls map pick, they went 13-7 against UARC Rose, but University of Arkansas Rose on their own map pick Pearl were unable to get more than 3 rounds. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this rematch goes, especially since Powerpuff Girls, they have a few subs this week.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that could definitely be a game changer, right? With the substitutions coming in. I think originally Powerpuff Girls had actually been the team that said that, you know, they enjoy the game. They put the effort into it during when the competitive season is here. But overall, they haven't necessarily put a lot of time into scrimming and, you know, getting those essentials through. But these players individually have such high skill sets. So that didn't look like a concern. I do feel like, though, with the substitutes coming in, and there might be changes to what, you know, team compositions could develop. So that's also another thing to keep account as well.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you who don't know, Paidia Cup or Paidia is a woman-led company that is dedicated to making more spaces more accessible to women and marginalized genders. And the Paidia portal, you will find other things like the Paidia Cup, so you can explore more tournaments and meet like-minded gamers. So thank you so much to Paidia once again for helping to host this event.
Yep, that's awesome. But overall, I do not necessarily sure the map picks and bans are ready, so we can talk for a little bit. We could chill out, See what's going on. Oh no, we're not chilling out. Production said we don't want that. We're gonna go straight to the map picks and bans. So, already looking at it, right? That first map being Icebox, going over towards, I believe that's Ascent next, and then the decider being Pearl. I like this. I'm sad we don't get to see Split. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, Split is just like our long lost, estranged relative at this point. But unfortunately, no one's going to be playing Split. Pearl is still on the table potentially if we do go to map 3. But I think that University of Arkansas Rose, they're aware that Pearl was not strong against Powerpuff Girls. So now they are going to instead pick Ascent.
Yeah, the Ascent is a good one. It's always kind of that middle ground for players. Mid control being so easy to get early picks, especially on defense. So I feel like that in itself, probably the reason why Powerpuff Girls probably picking this map. But, again, we're going to have to see with those map picks, with those agent selections and what exactly are we going to see through here. And something interesting actually is I really hope to see more development of that harbor. Especially, we probably will see it in Pearl as Harbor has been starting to get a little bit of love there, but I feel like he has just as much impact on Icebox, if not more. With Viper's util, it does feel slightly limited compared to Harbor, so that's something I'm wishing that, especially with the collegiate scene and, there being a difference in metas and compositions versus what the competitive scene is looking like. I feel like Harbor is definitely that next step.
I actually have seen Harbor being played in the Paidia Cup as well, but it was on Icebox and it was played by University of Carleton. And University of Carleton actually has 2 players that are substituting for Powerpuff Girls. So those 2 subs will be from University of Carleton, and that team is incredibly dominant. They actually won the CECC qualifiers a few weeks back, and they were the ones who played Harbor on Icebox, and it allowed them to be a lot more creative with where they were planting, since a lot of people consider that Icebox is a very stale map, agent composition and gameplay wise, since there are only a few spots you can really plant. But when you bring in Harbor's High Tide as well on top of Viper's Toxic Screen, because it was a double controller composition, and you have the Cove for very safe plants, you don't have to use Sage's Barrier Orb, then you can get plants on the top of nests on both of these sites.
I mean, the color casted said it themselves. I couldn't have said it any better, to be completely honest with you. And that's where we'll pretty much keep things at. Again, still waiting on that agent select, I do believe. Waiting on the whispers. No, but
the voices in our heads are speaking to us.
I personal favorite of mine is Icebox. Just saying, I feel like Icebox for me is, one of those maps where, I like it personally just due to the fact that it's a lot of aim tools, especially, in the post plant. That's where it starts to get, I feel like, a bit tactical, which I really do like, and technical as well. So, it's not only playing that post plan and getting those shots down, it's about timing, it's about securing your position, it's about making sure that you have those post plant positions to allow yourself to play those post plant lineups, or maybe even, try to create a distraction while you're at it. That's the reason why I like Icebox. There is a lot of technicality behind it, as to where Ascent, I feel like, does kind of go to the typical pushes that we like to see, or just it's a bit easier to play, in my opinion, versus what I feel like Icebox or Pearl could bring out.
I definitely do feel like if there's anywhere where you want to innovate, it is on Ascent, though, because Ascent is that old map. You know it well, you know how it's played, and you know how it's supposed to play it. I don't know if you've seen that stat sheet of like all the regions in Valorant and what the most favored agent composition is, and it's always Sova, KO, Jet, Omen, Killjoy. That is it. And there's just no innovation happening on Ascent at all. But I think if there's anywhere where you want to try to change things up, it's going to be Ascent, because you know it so well. It is such a staple for Valorant, and even though it's been in the game since the beginning, they have not rotated it out of the map pool. So
and nothing here, but solid question. How was so being here, right, and being able to see all of these players and trying to compete up to that grand spot. I believe back the spot at that land down in CECC, but more so with you. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Let's get to the casters a bit while we're sitting on the desk here. Let's have some fun. I feel like we've been pretty close with the amount of casters that have been switching in and out. With me, you, Ash. I know we had Zach on here as well. So question to you, I guess, is if you had to choose, even the maps that are banned out right now within the pool, if you were a professional player and you were an IGL, what map would you pick? What's your first strat to throw out there and why?
This is a very complicated question. I think I would probably pick double controller on Pearl.
Double controller.
On Pearl. Yeah, that would be my strategy. I would have Astra Viper to have that flexibility and just play Pearl. Honestly, might even go triple controller. Nobody needs Sentinels these days. We're just going to have, double initiator, triple controller. That would be my strat. This is why I'm not allowed to play Valorant, by the way.
Okay.
What about you, Gompers? What is your
probably
map?
better than mine? A Harbor. Come on, let's be real. A Phoenix. A Sage.
Yeah.
A Viper. Right?
Yeah.
And I'd say an Astra. All wall agents. That's my strat.
Oh.
Sometimes it's hard to get past the wall, right?
Yeah.
When in doubt, try to figure it out, I feel like. But honestly, I listen, I'm a big fan of the Phoenix, surprisingly enough. And you guys are probably going to trash me on this, but Phoenix Breeze goes hella hard. But we're not ready for that conversation yet. We're not ready for that conversation.
No, I don't think anyone's ready for that conversation, Gompers.
No. I don't think they are. It's big brain analysis. But Phoenix's wall? Come on. Like, it's kind of like having easy smokes.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I'm thinking. I don't think I see.
You're
the
like,
vision,
I don't want to
though.
think anymore, but
I don't think I
try.
see the vision.
All right.
Well,
this is
we're
what we've
back
been
on
waiting for.
Icebox.
Of course. All right, you give me some color analysis. I want to hear this.
Well, we can see that Reyna has been locked in on the side of University of Arkansas Rose, which they also did last week. So Reyna being their main duelist, and they're going to go for the double info initiator with Sova and Fade. So lots of info. They're trying to cover their bases with the fact that they're taking Sage as their main sentinel. So Sage not having those info gathering capabilities, they're going to make up for that with both the Sova and the Fade. And now with the Reyna as the main duelist, I feel like space making is going to be the biggest issue for University of Arkansas Rose. So starting on the defense, they can remedy that.
Yeah, this is actually very different. And again, I talked about collegiate being different from what you would consider to be the main league or the pro scene in VCTs, right? So originally it would be that Sage pick alongside the Viper and, utilizing all of their resources with maybe a Raze or a Jet, but the Reyna coming in, having to be that main fragger, having to get those, I guess, main picks, the kills to make sure that you're ahead of the team, getting that space. Overall, it does feel different, right? There is that lack of KO for the utility, for the takes, for the retakes, whatnot. But I do like where we're going with this. It does show some of this diversity that we tend to see in the collegiate scene.
Yeah, and I definitely love that the innovation that is happening kind of around this, but Powerpuff Girls are definitely playing a more meta, quote-unquote, composition with the Jet, the Viper, the Sova. I don't even remember the other two. Was it a Killjoy and a Sage?
It's awesome to see something different come out of the pool. I'm waiting for the day that Sage is out. Sage is always going to be, I feel like, awesome. for Icebox, but lately I feel like it's been so easy to play against the wall. The only thing that I see really with this wall being of importance is the post plants, which has been amazing. But with the addition of Gecko, and fakes that could occur and whatnot, I'm probably spewing bullshit here, which honestly, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. But I'm a little quirky girl. A little
quirky girl.
I love different things, and I love change.
Yeah, well, now going on to this A site, looking like they're going to go for a pass stake for Power Cup.
Yeah, one single mistake can get you on the chopping block. Especially with everything occurring right now, right? Kiara already coming on top of that generator. Luckily enough, Pauline being able to catch out that refrag. So already for Powerpuff Girls, it seems like they're having a really good start despite the conversation that we talked about, you know, with them having some of these subs to come in.
Both subs now dead. It was Pauline and Hans that were the subs for this squad. Powerpuff Girls in a 3v2 on the retake. Oh, Pauline is actually the Sage.
Yeah, with a slow walk up the wall goes down. Mur trying to break through, but this 3v2, right? You got so many players watching on this contact. One peek out, Kiara. Taking the first shot off of Mur and a second. The shots from Kiara are insane, and it feels like this is going to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls, they did pretty well against University of Arkansas last week. It was 13-7, so it still was competitive on this map, but they're off to a better start now. They have won the pistol, which they couldn't do last week against University of Arkansas. So this is definitely looking very strong and maybe a little bit scary for University of Arkansas as well. They're just having war flashbacks of the week before as Sofa actually going to buy up into the Stinger, but that's going to be the only weapon before it's sold for UR Grows.
Revealing area.
The war flashbacks are what get me. Honestly, there's a lot of comfort here for Powerpuff Girls, it feels like, with the drone coming in, all of these players trying to watch some of their surroundings, and Kiara creating a space to keep themselves back up towards that mid-level. But yeah, I mean, retake's consistent, especially with University trying to figure out where they can get this retake through.
It's gonna be tough, especially with the barrier orb coming in, but Mare on the flank as well, looking for a pinch, but has been spotted. No, they didn't expect to, but Leah's going to secure it. It's a flawless for Powerpuff Girls. Pretty much what we expect for a buy-up, I think, Stompers.
Equal buy-up across the field. Surprisingly enough, it seems like that force is going to come in from both sides. Not going to keep that bonus down intact inside of their arsenal, but two players there with the hero rifle. I feel like Kiara's aim has been proving to be super useful for this team, and honestly, more than two could be enough, especially with the resources that we're seeing here. It's a lot easier to play with their Spectres down to the attacking side as well.
Yeah, definitely can close that distance very quickly. 3 players that are pinged by the recon dart, but they're still going to keep going towards that A site, and the rotations have not yet fully come into fruition from UARC's side. So they're going to go ahead, try and push past this toxic screen.
All right, Pauline already coming in. I said the attacking side, right? The Spectre's coming through. It can help out and give some of those advancements. All of Yarn trying to take that high-level field. Nice shot already on target. You got the resurrection almost there for Pauline. It is going to have to try to farm for some of these picks so that the next round could look good. I mean, a 3v3, 3 orbs left to manage. At this point, Leah is probably going to save the day with the Viper's snakebite as well. Already looking at it, Pauline trying to watch alongside, but not even understanding that there is a snakebite ready to be pushed out.
Mare is excellent with the frags, but the time is getting so low for Leah. And Leah on the high ground as well, going to be looking for the exits from UARC. They're not going to peek out just yet. Mare going to try and take a fight. Leah misses, and Mare with the 4K gets the players, but cannot find the round. However, Empress brought online from that last round almost a hero play from the Reyna of UARC's side.
UARC already down at 0-3. Surprising that Economy can actually hold a bit more of a buy, especially with the amount that they invested into that round. But an ultimate there for Mur, the fragger of the team. I love seeing this out of the Reyna. They can honestly help boost this up a bit.
Another A push for Powerpuff Girls. They got 3 in a row. They can rebuy into the rifles. And Kiara, going to look to be the tip of the spear this time, knows exactly where the shock dart came from, but is going to get a little banged up after getting shot through that toxic screen.
This lead positioning is always perfect. Pauline getting out nice and clean. And still Kiara watching down towards back of sight. Sofa getting some of the shock darts through. The damage is immense. And I mean, at this point, right, we're looking at it. It just leaves so much room for Powerpuff Girls to continue their domination. It feels like these substitutions are at home. Does not feel like there's any differences within Powerpuff Girls.
Now, Leah finding the last pick for another flawless from Powerpuff Girls. Definitely a lot more of a gap in the gameplay in these last 2 rounds. Leah, always very consistent for Powerpuff Girls. We talked about this last week. We're probably going to talk about it again this week. Viper's Pit almost ready. Resurrection and Bladestorm both online. On UARC's side, they only have the Empress that can contend with the amount of ultimates that Powerpuff Girls have or will have very soon.
Revealing area.
It's a continuous A push. Honestly,
Yeah,
it
they
feels like
just
they're
keep
taunting
going.
them at this point. They're like, yeah, we're gonna keep pushing. You guys can 5-stack it if you want. And they aren't, which is surprising because there has been this tendency. They're just running it down.
Oh my god.
They're playing at this point. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I would have yelled. I would have screamed louder than that if they had gotten that pick.
Spike planted.
Apple was just W keying over on the zip line, and now Mare is going to try to make something work. Is able to find Kiara, just misses out, but without a gun secured, it's going to be tough. Ons with the last 2, another round for Powerpuff Girls on UARC's save round, but UARC, they do have the guns now, and once again, the Empress in the back pocket.
This is intense gameplay. Apple running it down feels a bit disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie.
And she got the pick on the Sova, which is just
like, where
I was not
did that come
expecting
from?
it.
Apple is now Reyna. It's done. It's over with. The Killjoy, I mean, on the attack, the Killjoy is quite useless unless there is a massive flanker on the team. So Apple is kind of a duelist at this point. Not gonna lie to you. It is useful.
Well, I mean, it just feels like UARC, they should be 5-stacking A. 5 times in a row, Powerpuff Girls have gone the A site. They put no pressure on mid. They put no pressure on the B side. They just full 5 players, all go A, dump all the utility on there. Pauline isolates with the barrier orb from Maze, and if there's anyone left on site, they just have to tank a whole bunch of utility that the team is going to throw at them. And it's a pretty good strategy for Powerpuff Girls UARC. They don't have a counter for it just yet, but they always have the disadvantage when it comes to numbers as soon as that push starts.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the orbs are almost there as well. Ultimate's ready to be popped. At least 2 on the side of PPG and 1 on the side of UARC. So UARC, they're going to have to farm some of these picks. Maybe even some orbs, but down in mid. You can already see the updraft. Kiara, the fragger for the team. The headshots are going to come in nice and clean. Not even checking towards the back. They run it towards Kitchen. And they give up on everybody else.
Well, it's a B-side push for the first time, just as we were talking about them going 5-stacking A. Kiara still in Kitchen, being a menace for Powerpuff Girls. And UARC Rose with only 1 player left standing, going to get a few knives right to the face. Kiara, with 3, ends the round on a flawless.
6 rounds in a row where you're consistently getting picks like these and forcing these players into an unequal buy is pushing everybody very, very far behind. And it does feel like there is some of this discourse here. Nope, they're actually going to buy up together. Make sure they have the same exact economy and credit. So this is going to be good, at least the side of York, if they can take this round. But, you know, with one Vandal, I'm not so sure how that's plausible.
And I feel like we noticed a little bit of a pattern. Because the Bladestorm was up, they could have Kiara establishing that early damage by updrafting onto the 2. But instead, they're going to go towards that A site once again when the Bladestorm has been expended. Kiara does fall early though, Gompers, and Apples has actually become that duelist like you mentioned.
What? Did Mur miss out on Apple? Because I remembered seeing Mur down underneath. And once Apples dropped, I felt anxiety, but he didn't get shot down, so I just had assumed that somebody had taken them out, but I guess not. Mur missing out on a shot that could have saved everybody's lives there. Now it's up to the Ean B, not even the Queen B, to get these shots.
Is it the Ean B or is it Fiend B?
It might be
the
Fiend
NB! The NB!
We're just dumb!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, my reading skills are maxed out.
Yeah, we expended all of our processing power trying to read that name. So, unfortunately, the NB not able to secure the last pick, but still an ultimate online, 4 for each side. So it's going to be a pretty full round in terms of utility, but there isn't a lot of gun power for University of Arkansas's side.
Setting aside some time here to push up Powerpuff Girls with the ultimates, but we got some ultimates to push back as well for UARC. So right here, even though this ultimate does come through, they're probably going to use them for the retake, try to get that spike down, but Pauline having the wall left and prepared. You can see the Viper's Pit start to take place. Lots and lots of space already preoccupied, and nothing to utilize as of yet. Kiara, though, with the headshots, we know how clean they can be. Does miss out.
Still with the Viper's Pit online on the site, Pauline is able to find 2 as they walk through the snake bite in order to aggress on the site, and Hans actually putting pressure on mid to come in for that late lurk. Finds that last pick. Attackers, they do get the round, and that was with a lockdown and Viper's Pit expended that Powerpuff Girls find it. However, I don't know if it was strictly necessary. UARC Rose still waiting for a good time, holding on to those ultimates.
Oh, man. I feel like that would have been a perfect time, too. But I guess now it's better late than ever. It feels like UARC, even though they've been losing so much, they have just had economy to keep bringing themselves back into this Vandal buy. But I guess things work out for a reason as they please. UARC having some struggles here on the defense.
They just lose the eco rounds fast.
Yeah, that is the issue.
Here.
Mare playing a little aggressive here with the Spectre only. Tries to take out Kiara and is just immediately shut down. This is the Vandal buy as well. The Hunter's Fury has been activated, but it's not even for the plant. Hans is going to be able to get away with that one scot-free, and Kiara once again given a free position top of the round.
Oh my gosh, what is Kiara on? Even watching the flank as well. This team feels kind of unstoppable. I'm not gonna lie, these 2 additions are killing it.
Yeah, and it's not even that they're the top fraggers, but Hans, being that initiator, does have to do a lot to set up Kiara for success. And it definitely feels like there's that chemistry there. Hans with the 6 assists right behind, and Pauline with 8. Pauline is also a substitute as well. So they are meshing really well with a roster that they haven't really practiced with being subs. Now UARC, they are looking at double digits for Powerpuff Girls and have decided to go up to those Spectres. Still with those 3 ultimates, still holding on to the Empress, and Mare can be so clean with it. And I wanted that to be popped so much earlier to stop this bleeding.
Hunter's Fury Really good numbers for Han. Ooh. At least some damage off Sofa, so... Oh, God. When did Apples get here? Where were
Why
we
is
looking?
Apples just there?
Why is Apples running it down? What is going... It feels like at this point we're playing pinball and Apple is the ball, quite literally. Trying to keep themselves alive and heavy. Run it back and forth, left and right. Kuzzy now.
Enemy down.
Okay. There's the punishment I was looking for.
Apple is on one. That's all I can say. Why are you going back and forth on the zip line like that? Picks up the Phantom. Maybe can do something with it, but it might just be the move to save at this point. Has a good position to just get out and escape. But it's gonna go for the fight, and Hans gets a clone kill onto the enemy Sova. Double digits for Powerpuff Girls.
Nah, I think the only correct way to handle this is to run it down just like Apple. I think that's what we're missing here. Oh, Apple with the up. I feel like, you know what?
Apple's still going to run across that zip line. I don't think there's anything stopping her.
I honestly, this is either going to actually discipline Apple now, or it's just going to make it worse. I'm a bit afraid. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh no, she put the Vandal back.
That was a
but
chill
Apple's,
moment.
yeah, she's just having a little fun. She's just feeling like she's in a silly, goofy mood and wants to go in. But actually, buying a Vandal might actually be a little bit more disciplined than the Phantom buy, though.
That is true, because the Phantom... Okay.
Well,
no, I mean...
Okay.
If it works, why change it, right? I mean, already a 2K coming down, probably gonna get the third. Absolutely not, but a nice trade-off off Hans. Apple is opening up the site better than Kiara, but Kiara is the one getting all the frags, so...
Kiara's not even trying at this point.
Yeah, Kiara's like, I'll let you handle it. I mean, at this point, we're chilling.
The Killjoy, just running it down. It's so funny watching Apple get these frags, and when she was trying to clear the corner of Generator, does a double take, and I'm just wondering what Apple's sense is.
Dude, I want to see
How
Apple
long
with
does
the
it
judge.
take you to do a 180?
I feel like this is the Apple show, that's all we're talking about. But
it's like the rest of the team is getting frags for sure, but Apple on the Killjoy, just running it into the site every single round it's too funny. It's too good.
Oh, come on.
Oh, she shut down.
It's
They
like
shut
she's
her down.
listening. It's like she's listening and this is her copium. For why she
can
keeps
hear
on
us.
going. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kiara. I mean, that would have been good, but this is actually an opportunity for UARC to get their first point on the board, because that 12-0 would not look
never
good.
mind.
At
They're bringing
all.
back the Killjoy. The menace has returned.
They're like, yeah, we need you to keep running it down.
This site is not open though. They still have that barrier orb up, and Apple goes down again. This is the second time Mare has secured the pick, and now it's all left up to Pauline. We got a little bit too silly goofy from Powerpuff Girls, and now they're going to go ahead and have to 1v2 in the hands of the Sage after using the Resurrection. Still has a barrier orb, still has the heal, which is only 30 health points for a self-heal, so it might not do much. But we also finally see the Empress being used by UARC.
Spike planted.
Pauline. Pauline.
Like
Pauline.
Jolene?
Pauline. Yeah, I'm gonna get fired after today for sure, but
I'm begging you,
please don't take my frags. Probably. I mean, this could work out for Pauline. Timing!
Oh.
Perfect! First one. Merc. Not even having a blind to use. They're gonna have to slowly work this one up, but it's Pauline!
Okay.
A match point clutch, by the way. That feels brutal.
Yeah, clutch from Pauline after they got a little bit too silly on the attack. Apple's having the op, getting taken down twice by that Reyna. But unfortunately, even with the Empress, Pauline rotating to the other site means that that Empress runs out. And it was able to isolate those 1v1s perfectly. So the Sage, even though at the bottom of the scoreboard for Powerpuff Girls, with the 9 assists and also the clutch play to get the match point, now leaving only a pistol round between them and victory, is caught our sting for UARC Bros.
And even talking about plays, right? Of course, I do want to say There are a lot of games that you can play, and you could actually play the biggest games on day one. Are you as excited as we are for Starfield, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall coming in 2023? With PC Game Pass, you can enjoy incredible new games as they launch. Join now at GamePass.com and be ready to explore the universe and take on a legion of vampires or battle-destructive piglins all on day one. And so far, day one, Kiara might actually go down for the first time in a while. But just as I say that, headshots left and right, the 3K already coming in a 4K might 13-0. And it's over. UARC, Icebox, ban. No, I'm kidding. But it was a valiant effort. I do feel like though Kiara was just on, like, Kiara and Apples were just like, they met up and they ate something. I don't know what it was.
Are you accusing them of eating performance-enhancing drugs?
No. I swear I am not. I swear I'm not.
Well, map 1 was a 13-0. Definitely not as close as the week before when Powerpuff Girls 13-7'd UARC Rose instead. And unfortunately, the rematch does not go the way of University of Arkansas Rose. And this was actually their map pick this time around, deciding that they had a better chance on Icebox than they did on Pearl. But unfortunately, they were Powerpuff Girls, they went home, they got some rest, they ate a big breakfast, and they just came back so much stronger.
They did. And honestly, I'm hoping that this time we can see York come back stronger as well, because our next map is Ascent, and this gives them some leeway. I said that Icebox was tactical, and we got to see exactly why. Just kidding. It was literally just to run it down from Apples. There was no tactical plays there at all. No tactical, no nothing. But I'm excited to see what Apples has to prove and what this team can do of York next game. We'll be able to see right after this break.
Open your third eye and welcome this ad to reach video game nirvana through PC Game Pass. Game Pass has PC Game Pass. Game Pass has PC Game Pass. Game Pass has PC games. Nirvana awaits.
We'll turn this around. We'll turn this around.
Open your third eye and welcome this ad. Game Pass has PC games. Nirvana awaits.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Paidia Cup Women's Season. It's the women's season.
It's a woman's.
It's the women's matchmaking season. It's not. Well, it is the women's season because it is still Women's History Month. So let's be real here. But at the same time, Tala, what's up? How are you? How are you doing?
You know, I'm doing great. Coming back here with golfers on the desk for game 2 of You Are Grows versus Powerpuff Girls. And now we have just finished Icebox, which was a 13-0 from Powerpuff Girls, a very convincing scoreline. And now we're going to Ascent, which is Powerpuff Girls' map pick.
I mean, do you think that Powerpuff Girls could run away with this the same way that they did?
I think it's definitely a possibility since it wasn't even their map pick on Icebox. But it's also that Powerpuff Girls usually picks Icebox themselves, so they are pretty practiced on it. The only thing is they do have 2 subs, which makes the fact that they 13-0'd another team very, very interesting since they're playing with 2 characters that they are 2 players that they haven't really practiced or scrimmed with.
Yeah, and that was actually the surprising part because typically teams tend to look a bit unreformed, but it feels like they felt more connected, if that made sense. I mean, again, right, with the newest additions, with the Sage coming in and being able to, you know, get those 8 assists, even more actually, if anything, but I do feel like here, okay, well, okay, I'm seeing a Phoenix. This is what we like to see. This is what I was waiting to see, but it's the NB. And Apple is going KO. I'm sorry, but Apple going KO is a bit scary.
Yeah, Apple on the KO. Now you're going to have, you know, a reason for her to be running it in. She's just going to flash around the corner and she's going to run it in. And, you know, have you seen those things that are like, KO is like a better Phoenix because he has better pop flashes, has that ultimate where he can be resurrected, but just requires the help of the teammate with also info gathering abilities. So that's a fun little joke.
Whew. As fun as it is, Ascent is the battlefield, right? We're going into this trying not to get 13-0'd again. I mean, we could be saying this and it was probably just like the best map or game that they have ever had. And then they're going to come into this one and look like average players. Or, as we are going to be seeing, you know, them starting off on the attacking side, there could also be a bit of changes here for UARC, just because now we're seeing the defense side for this team of Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, the defense from Powerpuff, we've only really seen that one round on Icebox, and Kiara just completely destroyed with the Ghost on the B site. But now we're getting to see a little bit more of how they do play defense when they start on it. It's going to be a different map, but it's definitely going to be interesting seeing if they want to play aggressive, since clearly some of their players were on something during that attacking half on Icebox, or if they're going to play a little bit more passive, a little bit further back.
As far back as they can play it. Kiara pulling up a smoke, trying to create some concrete lack of vision there. But, I mean, as it seems already, you are keeping, I wouldn't say having some struggles getting onto the site as they already did, but you already got 2 players trying to keep themselves down, directed towards Cat. Paulina, right click, please. Not going to pull it out.
They have control of Tree Room now, but a brief interaction with the Killjoy is going to tell Apples exactly where Mare is. And now Cozy is going to be alone in Tree. Sofa trying to join them while Apple just watches that garden entrance.
One shot could end the lives of many. Oh, Leah, actually, they should know where the Sova is right now. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that was a giveaway for Cuzzy. I'm not so sure why they would pull through with that, especially as Sofa could have honestly tried to play around a bit and get the location of these players, but I feel like maybe just a bit too hard to try to pull through with that when 24 seconds left. A wraparound coming.
This is actually interesting, though, because Mare previously on the Reyna was now on the Omen as well. And Sofa now has to try and contend with 3 players and a Killjoy turret, which is basically half a player. So Hans finding the last pick with Powerpuff Girls, ending up 1-0 on their own map pick of Ascent.
I'm surprised there was such a big wide swing there from Sofa, but at the end of the day, it was a 1v3, so 20 seconds left, not a lot that you can do. But are getting themselves prepped up. PPG, Powerpuff Girls taking that first round in, and this is a bad iteration because they kind of did run away with it after that first round.
Yeah, a 3v1 ending in a 3v0. They have 3 players left over. Kiara is going to be the only one who sticks with the pistol, and that's the Sheriff. And oh, she is good with those shots. And it's the recon dart as well that holds the rest of the players as Bay in combination with the 0 point. Apples have gone aggressive. Apples finds 2, and now going to look for a swing. A nice headshot. Apple with the 4K. Now, Powerpuff Girls, a near flawless round with Apples getting 4 picks.
Anyways. Apple again.
That was a clip.
Just always looking good. To be quite frank with you, right? It's always different. I feel like with Apples, and they're always showcasing themselves in a very, very nice way. Kiara probably going to step up this time around, but it does feel like we're seeing some highlights of different players. I'm just more interested to see what the Phoenix can do here down inside of mid. Listen, I'm a Phoenix lover, but it seems like Cuzzy getting first shot. That's good off you are. And now there is potential for the first round that they could have gotten within these 2 series.
Player standing.
Ooh, even though the suppression finds 2, you are. This is their buy-up round. This is their round to win, and they should, by all means, be able to win it in a 4v1 situation now. Leah, however, in a close corner, finds 2, finds 3, with only a Spectre, and knows that there's one close by. Doesn't want to risk going for the reload, but it is a 1v1 situation. Cuzzy is trying so hard to get all the damage out with only the utility, and now Leah, having 1 HP and a dream, has to go pick up the spike. Cuzzy just goes for the right click, and the classic is going to be the gun that secures the first round for UARC in this series.
That's big. I'm gonna be honest with you, that is really, really big, because that's the first time we've gotten to see UARC be able to take advantage of Powerpuff Girls. But now again, right, living in this bonus round, it gives some leeway for Powerpuff Girls to take it back. Especially as the way things seem with those Spectres, so you are in a bad position in this round.
Powerpuff Girls, they definitely got a little antsy the beginning of the last round as well, aggressing all the way up into mid very early and not having all of their bases covered, which leaves the Kiara getting taken down very quickly. Now the enemy going to try to do what they can, getting onto this B site and taking control of Garage.
I feel like there is a really big lack of control here, though. Haven't gotten themselves onto site. 11 seconds left until we do get to see that dark amount from Hans. That could give away a ton of information as to what's going on outside of B. And if they are even inside of Garage.
The 0 point, spotting out one player.
Spike drop.
But the spike has gone all the way over towards this A side. But looking at Kiara's positioning, an A main push could be potentially deadly if they don't clear out Wine Cellar. However, they're not really bringing any
30
type
seconds
of
left.
info gathering with them here. They are watching Wine Cellar very diligently.
Oh! Spike down A.
Come on. Right now, in this very moment, Powerpuff Girls having a lead again. Pauline
10 seconds
making
left.
things count. Fuzzy in a 2v3. Although, taking some damage, 34 health, even a peak. One tap there from Apples. And this team has an aim that is very exact. I don't think I've seen them miss a headshot so far. They will continue to dominate.
Good double swing at the end as well. Powerpuff Girls, this was basically just an aim duel in this round, and Powerpuff Girls, for the most part, were coming out on top pretty frequently. Yeah, it's hard to say. UARC now, they don't have any... They do have the potential to buy guns, actually, into this round, but they're instead going to go for the save. To their advantage, though, they have these 2 ultimates with Mare and the Phoenix, the NB, having the run it back as well as from the shadows. On the other side, it's only an orbital strike to be spoken of.
Smoke's down. Molly.
Thinking of a Molly to come through. At least here, the NB, I was about to say the NB again. Make things
Smoke's
work.
down.
that they're in. Oh, it's actually the Frenzy that wins out on that battle though, Buffers. And Kiara also going down in mid, just not watching from the catwalk.
Spike planted.
Yeah, already keeping 2 players down here on the defense. Retake though is going to be big. They already see somebody just behind Generator. Ball of Yarn's location is giving up. Hans having some shock darts already. A mole to clear things. And the wall, not even fully amounting to anything really. It was a distraction, sure, I guess. But at this point, completely breaking it was Hans. Ball of Yarn getting down as well. I mean, things turn around in a second. It leads you to a spot where you have to fight for it. Sopa not even watching the angle. That is the only angle open. Leaves them to their own demise.
Yeah, it was good post-plant setup from UR, but Powerpuff Girls, they very, very quickly take that one back. It's off the back of those flash drives from Apple as well. They find a lot of information from Hans, using the Recon Bolt and the Shock Darts to clear out common angles, and swinging into Hell. It's very methodical and very, very clinical from Powerpuff Girls on the retake. Now UR Grows once again going to go for the timeout. With 4 ultimates ready and this being their bye round, they should be able to secure this one.
I don't know, that turnaround was so difficult. It's like, they just know how to isolate a ton of these fights, and it does feel like York is kind of playing into that as well. Taking a lot of 1v1s. Cozy though, with the op, I mean, like you said, this could be kind of like a game changer, so there is some potential to open things up. I feel like Sova op attack could be questionable.
Yeah, I mean, so far on the operator, it doesn't seem like the worst idea, since Sova does play very passively anyway and should be holding longer angles, considering how far his utility can go. It can quite literally travel from one site to the other, so Kuzi is definitely not the worst person to have with the operator. If you gave it to a Phoenix, then everyone would probably be squinting at the screen, being like, what are you doing with that? But I think the Sova isn't the worst choice if you really want to have the operator on attack.
Oh my gosh. Giving me a bit of anxiety, I'm not gonna lie to you. At least this time, Apple's actually peeking outwards up into tiles, but still the NB. Man, killing it right there.
No initiator in the term of the KO. No flash initiator, I should say. But Hans, still alive, still kicking over here on E. And actually just does not clear out lane at all. Hans is able to find 2 off the back of that mistake. The NB didn't find anything in the boathouse, and now it's all left up to Hans.
There they are.
One enemy remaining.
My ult is ready.
Oh, always keeping it up. Powerpuff Girls in a 1v1, making shots count the 4K. Cuzzy. So much util. They have 35 seconds. If they don't use it at this moment, I'm not going to lie to you. Feels like they might be putting themselves at a loss.
Revealing area.
So many weapons left on the floor. Okay, they use one. That's going to be great. They see the information.
Oh, no way.
What happened with Hans? Because he was shaking their head. No, they didn't even know.
Yeah, Hans did so well for those first 3 picks, being able to hide inside the boathouse. It was such a good reposition as well, but just chokes a little bit on that last shot, and UARC off the back of that, they find a second round. Still 4 ultimates available. Last round we saw that the run it back was expended to try and get themselves into a site, but they didn't clear out boathouse, which let Han go on a complete rampage, but in the end it didn't matter. Powerpuff Girls now going to go ahead and try to give Kiara a good start with that Blade Storm coming out.
It would have been so nice. Which is surprising too, because Hans had not missed a single shot before that. I'm missing out. At least some opportunity here to eliminate the Phoenix firsthand. Tons of players still watching down on the sites. The obedience is big.
The NB going to try and open things up in market. Hans once again playing a close corner. But they got back up this time, and Kiara, no one's paying attention to the push coming in from top cat. Kiara finds one, the resurrection immediately goes out, and that's Pauline's cue to come out swinging. Hans finding that last two with redemption with the headshot, and now a flawless Powerpuff Girls coming back with a vengeance.
Revenge is sweet, especially after a 13-0 UARC, but they're in for a ride, right? Kiara is pulling up that operator. We know Kiara to be one of the strongest members of this team. To pull things up, does seem like they're struggling a bit, so maybe this op is actually going to put them at a good advantage.
Kiara now looking mid. There's been a lot of emphasis on mid control from UARC Rose, and they've just been trying to peek from both Tiles and Cat, and that has been the weaker points of Powerpuff Girls defense as well. They are a lot stronger on the sites, especially with the Killjoy holding down A. But now B site left open as Hans tries and explores a few more avenues into mid.
Hey.
Exploring the potential to push themselves onto site. Off, luckily enough for them, not on the A site. They hear it. Yeah, because he's like, I'm backing off. I'm not dealing with that one.
You should run.
Now they know that there's at least a player towards that B market side, and that's going to give them the go-ahead. You'll use this Killjoy lockdown and try to get themselves into the site, but Leah isn't inside the lockdown at all and is still able to find so much value. Gets flashed, but Leah with the 4K, the shots are so good and so sharp, and it's all left up to one. Wonder if they're gonna give the ace over, wanting Leah to find it. It's the ace for the Killjoy on Powerpuff Girls side. UARC losing out once again on the eco.
Feels like we're kind of getting a taste of what we saw before. Leah's trying to find the middle so that they can see the brimstone. Yeah. There he is.
Oh yeah, let's go. I mean, Wompers, do you think there's anything that UARC Rose can do now? After those last two rounds were a little bit discouraging. Leah trying to find the top of the hole. That was mesmerizing for me. I was just staring at that.
Yeah, like, my mouth kind of just dropped. I was just staring at it. I was like, I feel like I went brain dead for a second, not gonna lie.
Our observer was doing Leah dirty. Observing that entire sequence of events.
I mean, to answer your question, I do feel like they're taking a lot of empty fights with no value, which it really does feel like that's kind of their main thing, is they feel inclined to pick these fights off, but really there needs to be a bit of patience.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. Now Kiara, speaking of patience, waiting here with the operator and finds the first pick. Oh.
Yeah. And the flash didn't even hit.
I know, it was too wide.
Kiara just running away with shot after shot. And I mean, as the op comes out, I said it before, they were struggling a bit to get these frags, but it does feel like they're sitting back at home. Although, right now in this moment, UARC, they're trying their very best, right? Moving up towards Cat. This is the time, right? The timing here is going to be big, but still missing out.
Well, the operator finally finding a little bit more value in this round. Kiara getting a few picks under her belt as well, but considering it is the defense and being a jet on defense can be rough. Kiara doing her part. Leah definitely doing a lot for the team. Lockdown now ready, and an ace in one of the rounds, holding down the sites with her utility. The Killjoy finding so much on the defensive side. Meanwhile, the only other ultimate available is going to be Kuzi's ultimate, the Hunter's Fury.
Difficult too. I mean, once you're so dominant, it's hard to get past this or even feel inclined. Not too scared to peek. The operator's still going to be in the hands of Kiara. They're wide swinging it, but you got some of that backup from Apple. Unfortunately, Getting down to the A side is a bit wide. Not even checking the back here. This is perfect timing. The Sova continues to move this up. Kiara could be taken out, but now... No, not even feeling inclined to check this. Still try to get a headshot. Cuzzy, I feel like Cuzzy's very animated with their movements. I feel like I always know what they're thinking.
Mare's trapped as well. It's just in a horrible situation inside the dark cover. Hans spams through as soon as that recon dart pings. And now Ball of Yarn and Cuzzy, they've got to find something and make it work with only a Marshall and a Stinger.
Everything is free for the taking
30 seconds
for
left.
Powerpuff Girls. They could just run it up, try to take these pistols out of the hands of UARC, who are already having some hard time here, but they did manage to get those 2 rounds, so it is a lot more than what we managed to get or see the last time. Still some potential to take it 8-4, especially if they lose this one. 13 seconds, yeah. Okay! Ball of Yarn.
She was trying to destroy Killjoy Dart. I understand.
I saw the vision.
Yeah, Ball of Yarn has just been having a little bit of a rough game. Sometimes it can definitely feel that way, especially as a Sage on the offense as well. When your team isn't doing well, all the utility becomes really expensive, and since Powerpuff Girls aren't really big on flanking, Sofa and Ball of Yarn just can't really seem to find as much value getting themselves onto site.
Not only that, okay, this time the flash actually hit, making Kiara miss a shot. This is good. The NB has the angle. And this time for UARC, I mean, they take out one of their strongest players for Powerpuff Girls. They open up things again to maybe take these 8-3, which, I mean, is a very big start.
Oh, look at Hans. Hans is in tiles. She's got such good positioning on these players in mid, finds both of them. Just 2 quick headshots, but Ball of Yarn is going to answer back. First kill of the game, and Apple gonna try to find revenge for his teammate. Unfortunately, Ball of Yarn gets away with the resurrection in hand. Okay, Orbital Strike going to try and counteract that ultimate. Fortunately, isn't going to be able to find it. Oh, never mind. Kuzi goes down because of Apple's fragment nade.
30 seconds left.
He was not having a good time. Although, again, you know, we talk about potential here. Pauline is super lit, so wide swing. Oh, a nice paranoia could actually work out. Put a reflash through to help Pauline get themselves situated. Apple, nice refrag as well. 2v1. It's always the lack of time for UARC. They don't even get the spike down.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of indecision for this UARC squad, that in the mid-round, when they lose those players early, they have to just try to force themselves into a site, especially if it's going to be Mare or the MB, who seem like very important. Or at least Cuzzy and Mare. Since Cuzzy and Mare are really the ones that are setting up those takes, and the NB is going to be the tip of the spear, but needs that setup, needs that help. And if you find those 2 players that are out early, or are simply too far away from the site, then it's going to take a lot longer to get that spike down, and when the time runs out, the time runs out.
Turret out.
Hit.
And some potential surrounding down towards mid. Kiara's always watching this angle to try to keep that mid control. As we have seen the NB, right? Always peeking this, taking these 1v1s. A flash a bit too wide last time. Kiara expected this!
Oh.
Perfect shot.
Kiara, such a good adjustment to keep a hold of mid, which has been the weaker side of Powerpuff Girls defense, and they recognize that. They're stacking up mid this time around, and B side isn't even poorly defended due to all the Killjoy utility that has been found on the site. Leah's in such a good spot.
Over. Wall. No longer having to be an asset here. Murr's still sitting in the corner. There's so much left to do, but I feel like that 10-2, if Powerpuff Girls continue to run away with this momentum.
Oh.
What exactly are we going to be able to see? Apple already keeping things in low.
Yeah, Mara is just completely trapped by logs, and
30
now
seconds
3v5 situation still potentially winnable, especially with Kuzi having the Hunter's Fury, and the two other players alive are the Killjoy and the Sage, but immediately Pauline's on the rotate, has that incendiary down, and just spams on right through. It's the player trapped in a corner, and a flawless for Powerpuff Girls as Kiara rounds around for the kill.
Switching sides.
10-2. I mean, not as big as a lead before, so again, we talk about potential, we talk about what could happen here, and it does feel like there were a lot of fights that Cussy managed to win out, but luck. I wouldn't even say it was luck, mostly skill, but that's not going to get you too far, especially playing by yourself. Again, coordination is what we need.
Now, on the defense, we already saw that UARC struggles with the defensive side on Icebox, and Ascent isn't that different. Going through mid earns you that second entryway into the site. Mid control is important, but Powerpuff Girls, they don't really care about mid control. They just want to get themselves into that site, all five, which is definitely more conducive to Icebox play style than to Ascent. Ascent, you do need to have a little bit more attention towards mid control, but this time it's going to be the Icebox strategy. All five players, all main, just waiting for a good spot. But this is the thing about Ascent. The chokes are so much smaller.
Oh, they still win it out. Again, honestly, this team was way better on the attack looking at Icebox. I mean, we didn't get to see too much of the defense, but looking at that performance, the way that Apple likes to play, and already gathering so much information despite getting taken down. So I do feel like it did work out in the end.
On the defense, we already see that they've spotted one outflank. Powerpuff Girls, it's not going to matter to them. They're going to be fine. They're just sitting pretty on the site waiting for that spike to tick down. And honestly, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu right now. Ball of Yarn just drops down. The trade comes through from Pauline, and Sofa already knows exactly where this player is. Leah, even though battling against the turret and the Killjoy, is able to find the pick. 11 for Powerpuff.
Oh my gosh, Powerpuff Girls are showing a new side to this game. 11-2, one more round to go up into that match point.
Yeah, speaking of this match point, before this game is over, if you want to be able to get yourself to match point more quickly, unlock more agents, then Game Pass is now on Riot Games, and you can speedrun your battle passes to get yourself all of these new skins and all of the Radianites, all of the gun buddies, and just get your drip while playing Valorant.
Get your drip while playing Valorant.
It's true.
I do like that. They really, truly are trying to get some of that drip. I mean, look at the way they're running. They're like, yeah, give it to me as fast as you can. They do also want to end this out as fast as they can as well. As you can see, Apple again trying to run things down, already down towards holes, making everybody panic for UARC. Rightfully so. I mean, this team's aim is monstrous for Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls
Enemy remaining.
are looking like they are an unstoppable force, but doesn't seem like UARC Girls are an immovable object in this case. And with a flawless, they have a flawless bonus round, a lot of rifles to be spoken of, with the 2 Bulldogs, the Guardian, and the 2 a Phantom and a Vandal on their side, with lots of economy to spare. While UARC, they still have a player who is looking at a Bulldog and light shields, and that's probably due to the fact that it's a Killjoy and she just has so much more utility to buy into these rounds. But the Killjoy has even set up on that B side, so that utility probably won't even see the light of day if you consider how many times have you seen Powerpuff Girls actually rotate against this team.
Yeah, there actually hasn't been, even on Icebox, no rotations. They kind of just full run it down, and put themselves at that power position where they pressure this team to fall back. UARC not falling back just yet. Murstel, though, stuck down just behind Generator, and they understand the positioning here. They have so much util to play with for Powerpuff Girls. It's like the Phoenix Wall comes up to create that second-hand diversion.
Now hopping out of the choke is Kiara, trying to get the rest of the team out with them, and now it's just going to be fully abandoning that A site. As soon as I say, how many times do you see Powerpuff Girls rotate against UARC Rose? They decide to go ahead and go for that rotation fully through spawn, while Kiara tries to take up some space in mid, trying to spam down Sofa, but is going to leave the Killjoy alive with 1 HP. The enemy comes to back them up, and Kiara is still able to find
30
that pick.
seconds left.
Yeah, thought to themselves, this might just have to be the map. Alright, push up. We make things happen. There comes Kazi. Pauline getting off center. I don't even know if this is such a good angle to take because they were actually waiting for that molly to go down. 13 seconds left. Are going to be able to get the spike down, but as that comes through, you can hear the movement. Apple making the shots count.
A 2v3 situation with two of UARC's players very low. This is still favorable for Powerpuff Girls, especially since they have such big rifles in their hands.
Both of these teams were good under pressure, but UARC, again, having that tendency to take these fights one-on-one, and as I say that, they feed into it.
Attackers win.
Powerpuff Girls, again, taking these fight isolations, making sure that they can get it, and making sure that it gets done. That 13 scoreline is going to be coming in fresh, but I do want to say as well, right? I mean, listen, we've had some exciting games, so I feel like something else that's pretty exciting is the Xbox Game Pass. So the Xbox Game Pass has PC games with the new Xbox app for Windows PC. It's easier than ever to discover your next favorite game. Browse the library, view recommendations, or filter by genre with hundreds of high-quality games to choose from. Now at GamePass.com and get your first month for only $1. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can do all of this for just $1. But now congratulations to Powerpuff Girls for another win here on the Paidia Cup Matchmaking Season stream. We do have an interview coming right up for you guys right after a very quick break. So we're going to see you on the other side with one of the members of Powerpuff Girls.
Open your third eye and welcome this ad to reach video game nirvana through PC Game Pass. Game Pass has PC Game Pass. Game Pass has PC Game Pass. Game Pass has PC games. Nirvana awaits.
We'll turn this around. We'll turn this around. We'll turn this around. brushing the dirt off, and I'm back giving it my all. Eyes on the prize, only a matter of time. Before my sacrifice, bring me closer to paradise. You see the blood is red, all the sweat and the tears been shed. I put my fears to bed. If I get me, I'll be dead. And I feel the pressure. Yes, well, the temperature set to 100 degrees and nothing lesser. And I might slip and trip, but I cannot quit. Diamonds made out of gold. I never ever stop. All I got is the power to go.
Open your third eye and welcome this ad. Game Pass has PC games. Nirvana awaits.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, our interviewee, unfortunately, is not on Powerpuff Girls because they are not available.
Yeah.
But we do have an interviewee, and it's Gomper's dog. Everyone, give a round of applause.
Oh my gosh. So, we actually decided to interview my little puppy. If you guys see, he has a big little tummy. He's a big little tummy. Okay, let's go. Okay. But
Are you
so if you want to ask
weightlifting?
the first question,
Okay, yes. How are you feeling today, Belucha?
feeling pretty good.
Yeah, how'd you feel
He's
about
a
that
short
Valorant
answer.
game?
It's kind of crazy. Apple's just kind of like running it down.
Yeah, and who is your favorite player from today's match?
Gompers.
Gompers wasn't playing though.
He's just a big fan of the Gomp Nation. He's actually
Yeah?
my president. So
Oh, I see. He's the president of your fan club.
he's the president of my fan club. Yeah.
I think your other fans might be very disappointed that he's taken over that president spot.
Yeah, I know. But if they like the Gomp, they gotta like the I guess you could call him my chomp.
Oh yes, your little chomper.
My little chomper. I like that. All right.
And
trolling, guys.
does your little chomper have anything to say about PC Game Pass?
Do you have anything to say about PC Game Pass? Okay. Xbox Game Pass has PC games. Oh, nice. Okay, what else? With the new Xbox app for Windows PC, it's easier than ever to discover your next favorite game. Oh, you can browse the library, view recommendations, or filter by your genre with hundreds of high-quality games to choose from. Join now at GamePass.com and get your first month for how much? $1. That's crazy.
Wow, your dog is really fluent.
Yeah, he is. Oh my gosh.
With that, our interviewee, thank you so much. And this is going to be our last little bit for today. So thank you so much for showing up, our wonderful interviewee. Thank you, Gompers, for casting with me. And that is going to be all from us for tonight for the Paidia Cup matchmaking season. Congratulations again to Powerpuff Girls, and good night.